You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thursday Night AMP, where we are going to draw the Royal Rumble pool for 2016. But before we get to that, let me introduce everybody on the line. I am Stevie J. First up is Jason Harland, a.k.a. The Great Sudoku.
Raw is so weak, gives me a migraine in my brain. Raw is so weak, ooh, their booking I can't explain. Something about the way they do the things they do, ooh, ooh, ooh. Gets them X-Pac heat. Can't explain why McMahon's Fed is so weak. Sudoku.
Oh, somebody is stealing my gimmick of singing on the show, and I must admit you do it awfully well, so my hat's off to you.
Thank you.
All right, we've also got the man with the best spirit shirt in all of professional wrestling, the one and only Jordan J. Garber.
How is everyone doing from around the world, whether you're listening at the bar, in your car, at work, or being a star? You are all listening to Jordan J. Garber live, doing his thing on Thursday Night AMP. And if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at Jordan J. Garber and buy my shirt.
And just to up the Canadian quotient tonight, we've got one more Canadian on the line, my co-host from Club Up or Shut Up, who's going to draw the Royal Rumble, the one and only Peter H.
I'm not sure if I walked into AMP Wrestling Idol or a 5-minute ad on the Home Shopping Channel.
Well, off air, you walked into a hockey discussion, and that felt right at home, didn't it?
Absolutely, but enough about John Scott. Let's get to business with the Rumble.
Let's do that indeed. So one more time to break it down for everybody listening live and on the replay on iTunes, keyword Angry Marks, of course. What we do here is we take all the entries that were submitted to us by Twitter, plus a few members of the staff, and we enter them into a randomized pool. That pool is then drawn with numbers out of Peter H's Tumblr. Whatever number you get is the number you are assigned for the actual Royal Rumble over-the-top elimination match. So if the number drawn for you is, say, number 8, you get the 8th wrestler to come out in the Royal Rumble, whoever that is. And if they go all the way to the end and win the Royal Rumble, you get a DVD prize from AngryMarks.com, courtesy of me, Stevie J. Have I explained it thoroughly, Peter?
Pretty much. The only thing I've changed this year is that I've just given you a list of the names, and basically, Stevie, you're gonna say who's up next, and I'll tell you what number they get.
All right, that sounds like a fair way to do it. So, going from the top, let's see who's first on this list that you sent me. Final PDF. It is loading right now, and the first number is Angry Tensai. So go ahead, draw the number for Angry Tensai.
All right, Angry Tensai gets number 26.
Number 26, historically a good number in Royal Rumble pools. It's good to come in at the end, so that might be very lucky for him. Now keep in mind, to those of you listening, if a staffer or a podcaster on the site wins the pool, they can defer to the next person who comes in after them, the person that was next to last in the Royal Rumble, which I have already vowed to do. I believe Peter has as well.
We've got some late entries, so I've taken both yourself and myself out of the Rumble, Stevie.
Oh, we're not even in it then. So
we're not even in it.
Take care of that.
And on the list, if you see an @ symbol, that's their Twitter handle.
All right.
Some people ask me to use our Twitter handles, so.
I don't want to insult the producer of our network, but the next name that you have to draw is at GayKevin69. I shit you not.
Number 10.
Number 10 for GayKevin69. Good luck, Gay Kevin. We'll see if you win. Then we have an old friend of mine, G Hall, a.k.a. G of the Internet. What number is
Wait,
he?
what was that name? What was that username again, Stevie?
That last name was at GayKevin69.
Why GayKevin69? Like, what is going on?
Dude, I have no fucking idea. That's just the person who entered the rules. So.
Maybe 68 was taken. I don't know.
There goes the ratings for our family show. This was supposed to be a family
we never
show.
were a family show. We already have an explicit.
We never
rating
were a
on
family
iTunes.
show, especially when I'm on here.
Yes, right. Your parent does weird things, my friend. Let's get on to G of the Internet. What number did he draw?
Number 17.
Number 17 for G Hall, a.k.a. at G of the Internet on Twitter. Next up is from the Undisputed Wrestling Show, our longtime friend, Zane Paisley. What number is he going to get?
Ric Flair's old number, number 3.
Ooh, that is a very good number. Ric Flair went all the way in the Royal Rumble, so that could be very lucky for him. Let's see, next up, from the NXT report, and our recapper of all things pay-per-view, including the Royal Rumble this Sunday, it's Emerson Whitner.
Number 13.
13. Lucky number 13 for the Really Real EW on Twitter. Next up, from the SmackDown Rundown, which is currently on hiatus, but may come back someday. You never know. It's King J. He's on Twitter at King J Brand. What number does he get, Peter?
Number 8.
Number 8 for King J. Now, I assume you are filming the balls being rolled out of the tumbler as we're doing this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, not this year.
Oh,
had some technical difficulties.
That would have been a great video, but at least you're hearing the numbers being drawn, so you can picture it in your mind's eye as you listen to this podcast. And speaking of names that are going to be drawn that you can picture in your mind's eye, this one's easy to picture because he's on Twitter at Ed in San Antonio. You all know him well.
Jesus. He's, just call him Roman Reigns. He got number 1.
Oh, wow. That's gonna just skyrocket his ego through the roof. Wait till I tell him that he's number 1 in the Rumble this year. Man, he's gonna, that might be the first time ever that Ed's actually cheered for Roman Reigns in a match. I'm going to suggest that as I'm reading off these names, you can start spinning the tumbler while I'm reading the next name. Otherwise, we might take up the entire hour doing this. So the next name is Lady H, the lovely wife of Peter H.
Number 20.
Number 20 for Lady H. And then coming up next, our resident parrot shirt fanatic, Jordan J. Garber.
Number 11.
Yeah, what's going on? What's my number?
You're number 11, Jordan. You're number 11. So that's your number.
I'm number
your ticket
11.
to ride. You're number 11. And coming up
all
after
right, well, as long as Heath Slater isn't coming out to 11, I'm good.
Yeah, well, don't make promises like that, because I said the same thing when I got number 8, and it was Santino Marella. So you got to be really careful with that. Next up is Q Ball Carmichael from the Undisputed Wrestling Show. What does Q get?
Everyone's favorite number 27.
27. Historically a very, very good number. So Q-Ball might be going all the way. Follow him on Twitter at QBall469. What's next? Bionic Iguana, our old friend Alan. What's he got?
Number 5.
Number 5 for Alan. Follow him on Twitter at Bionic Iguana. Speaking of people you can follow on Twitter, at You Can Get This is number 12. What does he draw?
Number 18.
All right. For Dipkembe Mutombo, he loves to change his Twitter handle all the time. Say that one more time, Peter.
Number 18.
Lucky number 18. So next up on our list from your PDF file is William Huckabee, the NWA Intercontinental Champion.
Number 22.
22 for the Morning Star, William Huckabee. Now, is it the Continental or the Intercontinental? I actually forget. I think maybe it's the Continental.
It was the NWA Continental title, but he lost it a couple of weeks ago to Bad Blood, who was the reigning NWA Pacific Northwest champion, who has just laid down his title so that he can continue defending the NWA Continental title.
Oh, so the Pacific Northwest title is now up for grabs because he's defending the former William Huckabee title full time.
I believe that tournament is this weekend.
All right, well, everybody be sure to check that out. In the meantime, we go back to the draw where the Graham White is up next.
Number 21.
21 for the Graham White. I believe we've had winners of the Royal Rumble at 21.
I think so, yeah.
Mistaken. Yeah, but after him, what do we got?
At FN Vaughn.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Frank Vaughn, the Sneaker Pimp.
Number 24.
24 for the Sneaker Pimp. Follow him on Twitter at FNVAUGHN. Then, going back to the Undisputed Wrestling Show, we've got Drew Skills.
Number 15.
15 for Drew. See if that's lucky number 15 for him. And after that, we have Mike Poulin from the Impact Wrestling Report and Impact Implosion.
16.
16 for Mike Poulin. Then the other half of the SmackDown rundown, the one and only Nikolai.
Number 28.
28 coming in late. That could be very, very beneficial. After him, coming back around to our show again, Jason, this is your number. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What do you got
Number
for
9.
me? Number 9. How do you feel about your chances, Jason?
Turn me on, dead man. Turn me on, dead man. Number 9. Number 9. That's how I feel.
All right.
I'm going to win the Rumble with number 9.
You're going to win the Rumble and you're going to get in all the references in pop culture tonight. You're just killing us with it.
All right, who's next here? Lady J. Number 14.
Number 14 for the lovely and talented Lady J. And speaking of the ladies, we've got Sierra up next.
And she gets number 30.
Ooh. Well, we'll see if that's Triple H. If so, she's going to have a very good day. Who thinks Triple H is coming out number 30? I do.
That's one.
I don't know. It seems too predictable.
Yeah, but they're kind of going in a predictable direction right now with him screwing Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we got Craig Proper. He's up next. Everybody follow him on Twitter at ProperJam.
Number 4.
Number 4 for Mr. Proper. Not proper, it's Proper. Properly pronounced Proper. We move on to at Bob Irwin Ma. BOBIRWINMA on Twitter. What does Bob Irwin Ma get?
Number 12.
Number 12 for Bob Irwin Ma. And then, from the Impact Implosion, as we start to run out of numbers here, it's Seth Draken.
Number 19.
Number 19. You can follow him on Twitter at Seth Draken. Next up, Aguilera 5150. Sounds
Number
like
29.
a member of LAX. Ooh, the newest member of LAX gets the next best number to come out at, number 29. And then, of course, our good friend Abby. What does she draw?
Number 7.
Ooh, lucky number 7 for the lucky lady. Follow her on Twitter at AbbyBrook2121. We got 4 more to go, so it must be getting hard to get those balls out at this point.
If you say so.
I do.
It is an R-rated show.
And speaking of pulling balls out, let's pull one out for Big Dick, as Angry Tensai likes to call Big Dick.
Number 25.
Number 25 for our 27th entrant in the pool. Then coming up after him is Cutrere from Over the Top Radio.
Number 2.
Ooh, basically coming out at the same time as Roman Reigns.
So Ed in San Antonio is 1 and Cutrere is 2.
We're going to let them fight that out on Over the Top Radio. They can have their own little battle royal right there on the podcast.
All right, who's the second to last number here?
The Peach Machine.
Number 23.
All right, 23 for Peach. Incidentally, I have to tell a little story real quick before you reveal the final number. Peach Machine once got us tickets to ringside for the Royal Rumble in Detroit.
I got two of my friends who I meet up. I went to school with her in my radio program. They go to the C4, the local promotion here in Ottawa, and they're actually going to be at the Rumble. They are flying out on Saturday to go check out the show in person.
Wow, are they going to some of the local events in Orlando before the Royal Rumble, or are they going to anything else?
I don't know. They just put a picture of them holding their tickets. I'm like, you bastards.
Well, I hope they have a good time. I know I did because Peach Machine managed to sneak a bottle of high spirit proof alcohol into the Joe Louis Arena, and he freshened up our Diet Cokes. It was a lot of fun. And I don't want to ask him how he got it in there, but he is the Peach Machine. And like Filthy Tom Lawler, some things are best left unsaid.
All right, who's the last contestant here?
I believe you have Killer Kev on your list. So what did our producer get?
Number 6.
Kev, congratulations. You're a lucky number 6 in the Royal Rumble pool. No comment from the Peanut Gallery, or he went to use the bathroom. I don't know which.
All right, that's the draw.
That is indeed. Is everybody happy with their numbers?
Yeah, indeed. I got Gordie Howe's number. Since we're talking about hockey, I got the number of the great one. Or not the great one, but Gordie Howe. Gretzky was the great one, wasn't he? Gordie Howe was Mr. Hockey. I got Mr. Hockey's number.
So, Peter, what's your plans now that you've drawn the Royal Rumble? What are you going to do on Sunday? You going to be watching it live?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
But the only thing is, up here in Canada, we don't pay $9.99. We pay $11.99 for the network, so...
Well, actually, $11.99 in Canadian dollars is probably about $7.50 right now.
No, your dollar's worth more than that.
Oh, so it's more like $5 then.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
The point is, guys, it should be the same price everywhere. I don't care if you're in ukulele land or fucking, I don't know, Spain. Like, it should all be $9.99 in their own currency. Because now, they had these commercials before. They really put these commercials before of saying, $9.99! And you know what? It's retarded because it's not $9.99 around the world. It's only $9.99 in the States. But however, they're airing these commercials in Canada, Mexico, wherever WWE is watched, which is pretty much around the world. So it should just be $9.99 everywhere, and they should just be a man of their word. But nope.
I had no idea you were so passionate about this issue, Jordan. I didn't realize you'd get fired up about it.
Well, this is because I am debuting a new segment on the show just for 2 minutes, and it's called Fired Up with Jordan J. Garber, and that was it. That was the first part of it, and you'll get that next week. It's really random, but I'm going to get angry over random situations on the show from now on, and from the time being, that's the way it's going to be, and it's going to increase the ratings here for Jordan J. Garber.
All right. Well, one more time before Peter goes, I'm going to run down the list of all the entries and where they fell in the Royal Rumble, since Kevin just posted it to our Facebook group, which you can follow, by the way. You can like the page and follow our updates there by going to facebook.com/AngryMarks. So, number 1 is Ed in San Antonio. Number 2 is Cottrell. Number 3, Zane Paisley. Number 4, Craig Roper. Number 5, Bonica Iguana. Number 6, Killy Kev. Number 7 is Abby. Number 8, King J. Number 9, Jason Harlan. Number 10, Gay Kevin 69. Number 11, Jordan J. Garber. Number 12, Bob Irwin, Ma. Number 13, Emerson Whitner. Number 14, Lady J. Number 15, Drew Skills. 16 is Mike Poulin. 17 is G. Hall. 18 is at Dikembe Mutombo. 19 is Seth Draken. 20 is Lady H. 21, The Grand White. Number 22, William Huckabee. Number 23, The Peach Machine. 24, Frank Vaughn. 25, Big Vic. 26, Angry Tensai. Back to back, go figure. 27, Q-Ball Carmichael. 28, Nikolai. 29, Aguilera. And 30, Sierra Reed.
And if I misspelled anybody's name or didn't get a Twitter handle right or whatever, please correct that for me because I can't keep up on all that shit.
Yeah, I got mine wrong, Kev. I'm
the
actually just
opportunity. Again, also, I know you talked about Twitter handles, Kevin, and just in case everyone's listening, all 30 of those people that you mentioned, actually 29, because I'm one of them listening to myself talking right now, Jordan J. Garber is my Twitter. So, like you said, follow me on Twitter, and hopefully everybody in the Royal Rumble pool gets the best of luck, and may the best man win.
Yeah, I will correct you on at least one of them, Kevin. I believe 21 was Graham White, not LeGrand White. Oh, and Jason Harlan just posted a comment. It is at Great Sudoku, no the before it.
All right, how are we spelling number 21 again?
Graham, Grame, Graham White.
Ah, okay. My hearing's not always so good. Okay.
And Dikembe Mutombo is actually at You Can Get This on Twitter.
All one word?
Yes, You Can Get This, all one word. I don't think you can make Twitter handles separate words. You can capitalize the words, but you can't actually separate them.
Okay.
Well, you kind of can if you use an underline to indicate a space, but that's pushing it a little bit.
Okay.
That's going to be your response to everything, isn't it? Okay.
We're working on it here.
All right, Peter, thanks for drawing the balls, and Kevin, thanks for making the list as we went.
No problem.
All right, talk to you next week for another edition of Glove Up or Shut Up. Peace out, homie.
See you guys.
All right, gentlemen, we're still talking about the Royal Rumble here. We've drawn the names, but now we got to talk about the matches. Whether we like the build or we don't like the build, it's too late now because the show takes place on Sunday. And, of course, we have the 30-man over-the-top Rumble with the world title on the line. Roman Reigns can lose it just by being eliminated. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble becomes the world champion. So, first question, roundtable style. Do we think Roman Reigns has any chance in hell of actually retaining the title? Jordan, I'm going to start with you.
Well, Roman Reigns has a great chance of retaining the world title because he's in the Rumble, and the stipulation is that if he loses, then it's just a 30-man Royal Rumble for the title, so to say. So if Roman Reigns wins this match, which I kind of think the odds are in his favor, because I think they want to build up an angle with Reigns where he overcomes these odds and turns into like the fucking Terminator. And he's going to retain the title. Actually, I honestly think that Roman Reigns has a good chance of retaining the title at the Royal Rumble. And then Mr. McMahon will pull another thing up his sleeve and do something else to punish Roman Reigns. But I think what they're doing is they're trying to set this up so they can turn Roman Reigns into Superman, which people already see him as in wrestling as fans. And hopefully there is more out of this. But yeah. If Roman Reigns is defending the title against 29 other men, they're trying to set it up to turn him into this unstoppable superhero. That's what they're trying to do. And Roman Reigns has a good chance of doing that this Sunday.
I have the sneaking feeling that Jason is going to disagree with that.
The way that I look at it is, even though he is coming in first in the Rumble, Roman Reigns has a 33 1/3% chance of winning the Rumble, basically because it's going to be one of three men winning the Rumble. It's either going to be Roman Reigns retaining, it's going to be Triple H being Triple H, or it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Mediocre booking, I would say, has Roman Reigns retaining. Lazy booking would give it to Lesnar, and then really shitty booking would have Triple H going over. And with the way that WWE has been booking this lately, I'm gonna put my 33 1/3% behind Triple H and say they're going with the shitty booking answer and just being really, really lazy and really shitty and putting the title on him.
I think I'd go even higher than that. I'd go 50 or 60% chance of Triple H winning, because to go back to something Jordan said at the beginning of this roundtable, they're working on a storyline here, and I think their storyline is going to be the Authority gets what they want and screws whoever they want, however they want, and the storyline is going to be Roman Reigns chasing Triple H and Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and getting thwarted at every turn until WrestleMania finally comes and they have no choice but to give him a match, and then he beats Triple H soundly on the main stage, in the grandest stage of them all, at WrestleMania, in front of allegedly 100,000 people in Dallas. That's just what I see. But thankfully, there are other things in the Rumble match itself to talk about, like who will set the record for eliminations, if anybody does. And with both Roman Reigns, the current record holder, and Brock Lesnar, a potential record holder in there, do you see anybody breaking the record this year? Jason, I go to you.
Only if Roman Reigns goes from beginning to end. He may break his own record, but yeah, that's only if Roman Reigns lasts from beginning to end. Yeah, regardless of if he wins or not, if he makes it down to final two, he could have enough eliminations to beat his own record, but I don't see anybody else unless Santino comes in and has like a huge run, but
I view that as extremely unlikely, but you did make a key point there by noting that just because you're in the match from start to finish doesn't mean that you're eliminating every person in the match, because other people can toss out the contestants without it being the person who started. So
but Roman Reigns' kind of MO as a champion is as a fighting champion, and he's not going to be one of those champions that would just kind of sit back and let other people eliminate other people. He's not that smart, and he's not that heel.
True. So I imagine, since Jordan thinks that Roman's going all the way, he probably thinks Roman is breaking his record.
That is indeed true. I think Roman Reigns is gonna be. I always do this once every prediction show, and I make a long shot pick. And this show is going to be no one that is different. He is going to break his record of eliminations, probably just by 2 or 3. But yeah, you think of it this way: if he puts his title on the line against 29 other men, then that makes him a potential favorite, because that's how wrestling works. Wrestling is predictable. This business has become more and more predictable throughout the years. And if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I won't be surprised. But he's an odds-on favorite, pretty much.
I just don't know if I feel like he's odds-on favorite, but it is your opinion, Jordan, and you are entitled to it, just like you're entitled to have more people follow you on Twitter at Jordan J. Garber.
That is very true. Everyone around the world needs to follow Jordan J. Garber on Twitter, because, come on, man, follow Jordan J. Garber on Twitter. Support the cause.
It's our favorite cheap plug of the show, but let's get back to this Royal Rumble card. We've also got Dean Ambrose defending the Intercontinental title in a last man standing match with Kevin Owens. I don't even know why they need the stip. I don't really care about the stip. Jason, what do you think?
If I was going to look at it as shoot, I would say Kevin Owens is built better for a last man standing match. I think he's built more for endurance, where Ambrose is built for speed. I give the edge to Kevin Owens just because it's a last man standing match, and I think he can outlast Dean Ambrose if the match would go for a long time.
Do you think they're trying to build up another face chases the heel match? Do you think that's their goal?
I don't know if that's their goal, but they need to do something with Owens other than job him out every chance they get, because he's looking just weak. And I'd like to see him get some momentum, get a title, and then I think Dean Ambrose would work better chasing the championship than he is as a champion.
There is something weak as regards Kevin Owens that I want to talk about, but it's not germane to the Royal Rumble discussion, so we'll get to it later. For now, I defer to Jordan on his thoughts on this match.
Sorry about that. What match were you guys bringing up again?
Okay, Jordan must have been beating some nuts to the parrot on his shirt. We're talking about Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens.
Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. Sorry about that, guys. I just, my signal got cut off for like 2 seconds. I'm not even kidding. I'm not on the great place of reception. But, Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. That's actually a match I never even thought of. I'm gonna say that, it's gonna be Dean Ambrose to retain the title at the Royal Rumble.
So you think the last man standing advantage doesn't help him here?
Yeah, I just think Dean Ambrose. It's my long shot pick again, and I think Dean Ambrose is going to win. It's Kevin Owens. We could see a new Intercontinental Champion again. It can go either way. It is one of those things that's kind of just hard to pick a winner in this one, and I'm going to say Dean Ambrose is going to win the match and retain. But yeah, that still might be an advantage to him as well.
Well, we're going to figure out at the very end of this discussion whether it's easy or hard for the odds makers to pick, because I'll give you the latest odds that I'm going to post at MMA Odds Breaker as soon as we're done previewing the Royal Rumble. But for now, we'll just assume that it's pretty hard to pick until we actually give you the booking odds on what they think is going to happen Sunday. But I will say this. I don't know the odds right now. I haven't pulled them up yet. But I would expect if there's a long shot on this pay-per-view, it's Kalisto getting the United States title again now that Alberto Del Rio has it back firmly around his waist.
That is something
Del Rio. Go ahead, Jordan.
Sorry, Stevie. That's something I totally agree with. I know for a fact, and I'm just going to get this prediction out of the way early, Kalisto will regain the United States Championship.
Really? You think he'll get it back again?
He will.
Okay,
it's the Royal Rumble, and you never know. You never know what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble, and I'm the guy right now that's likes to put it all on the line, give out some crazy predictions that seem predictable but are long shots. And this is another long shot. Kalisto, I have a gut feeling that Kalisto is going to retain the U.S. title. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and many people are going to say I'm wrong, but the Royal Rumble might be the pay-per-view where Kalisto begins a solid title reign.
My feeling on that is that if they were going to put the title on Kalisto and leave it there, that it would make more sense. But the fact that they already took it off him 2 days after he won it the first time, why would they flip it again at this point? If he was going to be the U.S. champion, they would have just let him carry that title all the way to and through the Royal Rumble. So it just doesn't make sense for him to win it back again and flip the title another time. But I could be wrong, and Jordan could be right. So to break this tie, Jason.
I'm actually going to side with Jordan on this one. I think Kalisto, the long shot, is going to win this. I think the decision to give it back to Del Rio is because booking thought it would mean more for Kalisto to win the belt at a pay-per-view as opposed to defend it. And as stupid as it was to have him drop the belt right after he won it to Del Rio, this is kind of the big feel-good story of the Royal Rumble, which may end on a dark note in the Rumble match itself, but this is going to be kind of that high note. The underdog does it again, beats Alberto Del Rio, and once again becomes the WWE US champion.
And if they have him lose it to Alberto Del Rio on Raw the very next night, I'm going to throw something at my TV. Not something that'll break it, but I'll throw something.
Yeah, that would be stupid, but I could completely see WWE booking it that way.
They've already done it once, so I don't trust them not to do it again. But we move on to Charlotte and Becky Lynch in a singles match for the WWE Divas title. And before we start, I have to sing. I know Jason stole the spotlight at the beginning of the show, but I have to sing a little bit myself. You're a dumb one, Becky Lynch. Now, Jordan, who do you think wins this match?
We're going to see Charlotte retain the Divas title in this matchup. Becky Lynch is a great competitor, and I would love to see her win this match. I would love to be wrong, but I just think that the Royal Rumble is not the right time for her to win the title.
I completely concur 100%. And Charlotte is now the dirtiest diva in the game with her father, the Nature Boy, at her side. She'll cheat if she must, but she will retain. Jason, what do you think?
Short term, I really want to see this feud end because this Becky Lynch-Charlotte feud is just boring the piss out of me. Long term, if WWE is smart, they will keep the belt on Charlotte until Bayley is ready to come up from NXT. You can build Charlotte up as this uber heel, the dirtiest, the second generation dirtiest player in the game, taking on the ultimate female John Cena babyface. So yeah, Charlotte's going to retain this, and if they're smart, they'll keep that title on her and make her a heel until she's ready to take on Bayley.
Do you think they would bring up Bayley before WrestleMania and start the build, or do you think they would wait till after?
I don't know. Or yeah, I would do it before WrestleMania. I'd have it pay off at WrestleMania. I think you have enough time to do it right. Not that they would do that right. Heck, you might even want to demote Charlotte down to NXT and just have them feud over the NXT Women's title. Then it would at least get done right.
Yeah, there would be a better chance of it being done right in Orlando than it would be on the main roster, but that's neither here nor there. So we'll see how it plays out, but we're all in agreement then Charlotte retains. So we move on to the New Day versus the Usos in a tag team match for the WWE Tag Team titles. Jason, does the New Day retain or do the Usos go over?
New Day rocks. New Day rocks. They've had the titles forever and a day now, and I can't see them taking the titles off of them. And yeah, the Usos just kind of seem like relics from a bygone tag team era, and it's about time they bring some of these tag teams up from NXT to freshen things up, give the New Day some new competition, but I don't see them having enough confidence in the Usos to give the tag team titles to them. I think they're going to stay with our Freebird type champions, the New Day.
All right, Jordan, what do you think?
Well, Jason's right about bringing these tag teams up from NXT, and I think that that's exactly what the New Day needs. And the Usos, I don't see another title reign happening from them anytime soon. They've held the titles before. They've been there. They've done that. The New Day is going to retain the titles, and we're going to see what's in store for the future for the New Day.
I think I will concur not only with the analysis of the New Day retaining, but with the need to bring up a tag team from NXT. I'm going to vote for American Alpha, because I'm ready, willing, and able to see them win the tag titles. What do you think, Jason?
I think so too, and they were kind of playing, up how they kind of felt jaded that they didn't get whatever the voting was for the tag team, and yeah, that was kind of a corny spot. The American Alpha name, though, I do like that. I think they are the team to bring up. I mean, they are the 2016 version of Team Angle, or the best damn tag team, or whatever they call themselves. Haas and Benjamin, they're kind of the modern day equivalent of that. And yeah, you can plug them into the main roster. And I mean, they have that fun vibe too that the New Day has. You let them be themselves. You let the New Day be themselves. And we could have some fantastic tag team matches in the near future.
I like the sound of that. Jordan, would you bring up American Alpha, or would you bring up Enzo and Big Cass?
Yes, I would actually, because they've proven to be very impressive at NXT, and I want to see what they have on the main roster and see what they got at the top of the wrestling world. So yeah, definitely. Bring them up, see what they can do.
You know what? I realized they probably wouldn't be the choice to be the tag champions if you did bring them up, but I would enjoy seeing the Vaudevillains on Raw. I like their shtick. I think that could actually get over with a mainstream audience, even though they would never become the actual tag champions.
I don't think so either, but I think you could bring all three of those tag teams up, maybe even a few more from NXT too. I mean, I think you could pretty much bring any tag team up in NXT as it stands now and plug them into the tag team roster on the main roster, and you'd be just fine. You'd have they're having great matches down in NXT. There's the New Day and the Usos basically as your tag team division on the main roster. So yeah, just plug them in, let them do what they've been doing on NXT, and you can just beef up your tag team division like fivefold by bringing these guys up.
Well,
and it's one of those things where...
Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, sorry. It's one of those things where you can see the Vaudevillains up on the main roster, but you can't see a title reign out of them on the main roster. They would have a good stint for a few years as this tag team with the goofy gimmick, and I think it's awesome. I think they should bring them up, but fans need to understand that when they're brought up to the main roster, I can't predict a title reign out of them.
I'll say this much. We're all saying they'd have no chance, but I'd still give them more of a chance of no chance than I would ever give the Ascension ever since they got called up.
Ouch, aren't they in that preliminary match on the card?
As a matter of fact, yes. Darren Young and Damien Sandow versus the Dudley Boys versus the Ascension versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger. So out of those four teams, Jason, who do you think wins?
I think just for nostalgia's sake, they're going to have Mark Henry and Jack Swagger be the two entrants into the Royal Rumble.
All right.
It might be the last run for Sexual Chocolate here. So
very true. So Jordan, knowing there are two spots in the Royal Rumble on the line, which team do you think wins here?
I pretty much agree with Jason on what he said about that.
I'm going to actually go with the Dudley Boys because I think you're going to want a spot during the Royal Rumble match where Devon's in for a little bit and then Bubba Ray comes in and neither one's been eliminated yet, and they can go ahead and do a spot and do a was up headbutt and do some of their gimmicks until one of them gets tossed out. I think to pop the crowd, you want both Dudley Boys in there. That's just
I mean,
my pick.
you could have them do those spots in the preliminary match too, but yeah, I see where you're going with that too, that there is some nostalgia value with the Dudley Boys there too.
Mm-hmm.
And they may
The
not
only
have
thing
many
you can't do
Royal
is-
Rumbles left either.
Right. The only thing you can't have them do is get the tables, because that would require somebody to go out of the ring and more or less eliminate themselves, unless they ducked under the ropes to get the tables. But I don't think that would go very well with the crowd. They would probably not like that.
Or if Bubba Ray was already in there, Devon comes running down to the ring before he steps into the ring, reaches under the ring, pulls out a table, slides it into the ring, and then climbs in the ring himself.
That's true. You could get the tables in that fashion and avoid the whole issue of having to get out of the ring to get a table. That would solve that problem neatly.
Or just have him come out of the back carrying a table. Problem solved.
Even better. So, at the beginning of this discussion, I promised that we would give you the actual betting odds that I'm going to post on MMA Oddsbreaker. I do WWE betting previews for that website, and here are the odds as you will see them on the website this weekend. These lines may, of course, change between now and Sunday, but as it stands right now, Dean Ambrose is your favorite to retain in the Intercontinental title match. He is minus 280. Kevin Owens is plus 200. In the U.S. title match, Alberto Del Rio is a heavy favorite at minus 455. Goes along with what I was thinking. And Kalisto is the long shot at plus 315. In the women's title match, we all nailed that one because Charlotte is the minus 245 favorite. The dumb one, Becky Lynch, is plus 175. In the tag team match, the New Day are a slim favorite, but a favorite nonetheless. Minus 140. The Usos are plus 100. In the Rumble itself, here's where it's going to get interesting. The favorite to go all the way is Triple H. The field is minus 145 against him. Triple H is plus 105, which is the best odds of anybody in the match. After that, it's Roman Reigns at plus 155. The field is minus 195. The field is the favorite on all of these. That's why I'm saying Triple H is the closest to a favorite. Then you have Brock Lesnar. He is plus 310. The field is minus 430. Then you have, believe it or not, Bray Wyatt, plus 450 to minus 750. Then it starts to get a little ridiculous. Sheamus is plus 3,300. So if you got 100 and you're not doing anything with it, you could win 3,300 betting on Sheamus. But I don't see that happening. Braun Strowman, plus 3,300. Ryback, plus 3,500. Dolph Ziggler, plus 4,000. And these keep getting longer. Chris Jericho is plus 5,000. Big Show, 8,000. Curtis Axel, 10,000. Luke Harper, 10,000. Eric Rowan, 10,000. And the man from the Cosmos, Stardust, is plus 10,000 with the field minus 50,000 against him.
Wow.
So would anybody even put $1 on Stardust knowing you could win 10,000? Would you do it, Jason?
On Stardust, no, I'd put my dollar on Sheamus, but not on Stardust. I mean, there's a snowball's chance in hell that Sheamus might win the Rumble, but you know, even if the ring just literally exploded and Stardust was the last to touch the floor, they still wouldn't have him win the Rumble.
You don't think he could ride that cosmic spaceship of his all the way to the title? Not a chance.
Not a chance, no.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Seven's brother can't do it.
Jordan, do you like any of these long shots in the Rumble? Do you think any of them are viable?
Yeah. I like the odds of, actually no. Now that I think about it, no. I'm not really, these long shots, I don't know. I just think my only long shot in this Rumble is Roman Reigns. I just have a gut feeling that he's going to retain the title and it's going to be his night. And then Mr. McMahon's going to, but actually, you know what? I'm wrong. And I lied. Triple H. People bring up Triple H. If he returns, don't laugh at Jordan J. Garber. Jordan J. Garber is with 5 other people multitasking. He's a very busy man. Point is that Triple H, if Triple H returns, what's going to happen is he's going to be a fuckboy. He's going to screw Roman Reigns over, and he's going to win the title, and it's going to be shit from there. Point being so is that my long shot pick is Roman Reigns. However, if the game Triple H, the legend that he is, all due respect, returns, then yeah, we're going to see a new WWE champion. But hopefully that is not the case. I don't know. I like Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns as the WWE champion, and that comment is going to get a lot of people pissed off. But it's kind of cool to see Roman Reigns with this stuff.
All right.
There are two guys that haven't been mentioned at all in the discussion here that I would drop $1 on just because stranger things have happened and it's kind of the way that I would book it, but I don't trust the WWE to do it. But heck, if I'm just dropping $1 and they're really, really long shots, I would put $1 down on Finn Balor. I would also put $1 down on AJ Styles.
Yeah, you know what? If we knew for 100% certain that AJ was in it, and he certainly has been teasing it, and John Cena certainly has been teasing it, I would definitely put a little bit on AJ. Not that I think he's going to win, but just to say that I actually bet on AJ, because if it were New Japan and he was in a big title match, I would bet on AJ anyway. So that's just kind of par for the course.
Yeah, the way that I would book it, the last couple guys in the ring would be Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, some NXT guys. Everybody hops over the ropes simultaneously except for Finn Balor. Finn Balor says, I'm taking this title to NXT. You guys on the main roster don't know what to do with it.
My question is for you guys, though. Who do you think is going to return to the Rumble? Any past WWE legends, even debuting people?
Santino, definitely Santino Marella.
Well, that's not really a return, though. Like, if Santino comes back, everyone's going to be, yay! And it's going to be 2 seconds. But I mean, like, returns. Like Kevin Nash. Remember when Kevin Nash returned? That was awesome. Do you think any legends are going to return?
Haku!
I would say Hacksaw Jim Duggan has been teasing it on social media enough that it wouldn't surprise me if he came out. After all, he was the winner of the first ever Royal Rumble, so I could see him coming out for a cup of coffee in the match.
That'd be kind of cool to see. Me, I don't really have any predictions right now about who's going to return, but I know that we're probably going to see a few, and I'm very excited for those. That's actually my favorite part of the Rumble.
How about Mick Foley?
Mick Foley's another toss.
I don't think Mick Foley
not the way he's been bad-mouthing WWE lately.
It's not even that. They wouldn't care about him bad-mouthing because they kind of always let Mick Foley have free reign and say what he wants. I just don't see him being able to go over the ropes and take a bump on the floor. He's hurting way too bad for that.
I agree.
It is the Royal Rumble. He doesn't have to be in there long, but I just thought with his son working there, with Kane Dewey working there, that he might come out and make an appearance.
If he wasn't in so much physical pain, I mean, he's talking about the fact that he's going to actually cut back on his touring schedule for his one-man shows because just getting on the planes and getting off the planes is hurting him that bad. So I don't think he's going to take a bump, let alone be able to keep up the tour schedule he's doing right now.
Well, have the Sandman buy Dewey Foley a cane and have Dewey Foley come to the ring with a cane in hand for the Royal Rumble then. He can be Kane Dewey.
I suppose so. But I
you know what?
A little bit ago. Oh, go ahead.
I'll throw this one out there. Al Snow.
Really?
No.
Well, I don't know what. Well, I take it back. I don't know what his status with TNA is these days. But if he's not signed on as an agent, if he's not signed on as an agent with TNA right now, definitely Al Snow. Have you seen his pictures? He is jacked. I mean, he never looked. He looks as good now. He has never looked that good. He never looked that good in his WWE run or anywhere as he looks now.
I don't know. I think Jordan's right. He's a producer with Impact, so contractually probably not possible.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that popped in my head, and then I thought, oh, shit, Dixie's got him tied up.
You know, considering he just did the Legends with JBL, I could see Road Dogg coming out.
That wouldn't really be much entertaining. Like,
put Jerry the King Lawler in.
Once every 5 months.
Wait a minute. Why wouldn't that be entertaining, Jordan? All he has to do is come out and say, "Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody." He could get the whole crowd singing along with him, especially at the Royal Rumble. You know the marks there are going to know his gimmick.
Yeah, and he just has to throw a few elbows and then get thrown out.
Right.
I kind of want to see AJ Styles return to the Rumble. I'm sorry, debut in the Rumble. My apologies.
Yeah, he can debut, but he can't return. Unless they did a Rumble in WCW. They might have done a Rumble in the brief time that AJ was in WCW. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. Sorry about that, Stevie.
Speaking of debuts.
The same debut in the Rumble would be amazing.
That's fine. Go ahead, Kevin.
Speaking of debuts, any truth to the rumor that Austin Aries has signed?
It seems like he went to Pittsburgh this week to do his medical testing with Dr. Joseph Maroon. So I don't know if that means he's debuting in the Rumble, though. He could be heading to NXT. That's what the reports that I'm reading are telling me. I assumed you'd have a follow-up to that, Kevin. You just kind of left us hanging there.
No, just wanted to know if the rumor was true. That was all.
Yeah, he went to Pittsburgh and apparently did his medical testing, and this one kind of went under.
They never called me to hang out.
Well, a lot of guys go to Pittsburgh for their medical testing. I don't know why they don't all call you.
Yeah. When you go to Pittsburgh to get your medical testing, give the great Sudoku a call. We'll go out, we'll shoot some pool, we'll have some beers, we'll have a fun time.
Absolutely. But I did tease something earlier when we were talking about the Intercontinental title match. I may be in the minority on this, I may be in the majority on this, but I want everybody else's opinion on this. I think it's time for Kevin Owens to drop the gimmick of blocking people on Twitter. And the reason I say this is because it came up that Tough Enough winner Josh Bradle was laughing at the social outcasts on Twitter and called them social jobbers. Now, maybe that's a bad thing for a WWE employee to do, make fun of other WWE employees on Twitter. I understand why that got him heat with certain people, including Kevin Owens. However, in the honesty department, if he were just a fan of Raw watching it like the rest of us do, we all say the same thing about the social outcasts. They're all jobbers. It's not like he wasn't being truthful. That's been their role for years. Putting them together in a faction doesn't change that fact. And really, there shouldn't even be anything insulting about being called a jobber, because being a jobber is an important role to have. Somebody has to look up at the lights. Somebody has to put the stars over. Heath Slater is a great wrestler because he makes other wrestlers look great, and I commend him for that. So it's not necessarily as derogatory as everybody takes it to be, but all these people got all up in arms like, oh, here's the guy who won $250,000 on a stupid reality show using all this insider lingo like he's hot shit. Oh, I'm going to ban him from the locker room. Oh, I'm going to block him on Twitter. Oh, I'm going to make him dress in the hall if I ever see him. It's just fucking ridiculous, the overblown response to one tweet that any of us could have made while watching Raw. And Kevin Owens blocking everybody on Twitter, I know that's his heel gimmick right now to get heat, and I will respect the fact that he feels he needs to get that heat, but at the same time, how is anybody supposed to even, I don't know, it's the whole anti-hero thing that he was going for, is that I'm the voice of the people and you guys are putting John Cena over, and my son can't even look me in the eye anymore because he's a John Cena fan and I think Cena sucks and all this. He's supposed to be the anti-hero because he's representing everybody, and yet he's blocking everybody. And it's just, do you know what I'm getting at, Jason?
I do. I don't know how much of this is Kevin Owens and how much of this is WWE writers, though, because, yeah, I mean, what you were saying was good. When Kevin Owens was at his best, at his anti-Cena, anti-hero, that was kind of the end of his NXT run and the beginning of his main roster run. Yeah, Kevin Owens, for as good as he is on the mic, I kind of think as heel Kevin Owens, the less he says, the better. Just go out there, destroy people, say as few words as possible. When you do say words, have them be insulting, degrading, what have you. But yeah, go out there, pop up powerbomb, grunt like an animal, grunt at the interviewers when they try to interview you, kind of, storm off. Just be that angry, pissed off guy that the office doesn't think it has a chance because he's too quote unquote fat, but have him just go out there and destroy people. That's what heel Kevin Owens should do. And I think a lot of his current gimmick now is probably not so much Kevin Owens, but it's kind of like when Michael Cole has Vince McMahon screaming in his ear on the headset. That's kind of what I feel Kevin Owens is kind of in that role now, being told what to do, and he's just kind of playing it out.
So he's also blocking people on Twitter because that's what WWE wants? Is that true as well?
Yes, that's all part of the gimmick that he's being told to do.
Oh, I don't think having a war with the internet, even if that's what you're being booked to do by WWE, ever works. Because
I mean, that's what the entire commentary does. Like Cole, JBL, they always bury the internet and bury the internet marks, and that seems to be the WWE's company line that they toe.
Well, before I go to Jordan on this one, I have to speak a piece on that, and it's that wars with the internet don't work. Swerving the internet doesn't work. Playing to the marks.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, playing to us. Like, I'm going to specifically cite the three of us on this show. You do not write the show for the three of us. You write it for the millions watching it every single week. You write it for the millions that are going to tune in to watch it on the WWE network. You do not write it for the people on the internet. And if they're playing to the internet, they're making a mistake. Jordan, what do you say?
Jordan said, adios, I gotta go.
Oh, he had to take off and run. Well, Kevin, let's get your opinion on it then.
I'm pretty much in agreement.
Playing to the internet is a Vince Russo move.
Exactly. Of course, funny thing. Me and Jason were talking last night about the new Access TV deal for Jim Ross and Josh Barnett, and I said, you know what? The two of us should have made a bid for the English commentary for that, and we'll just do it totally differently than anything that they've experienced. Instead of knowledgeable wrestling announcers going in there and calling matches credibly, we'll just go in there and ignore what's happening in the ring, and we'll just shit all over the internet. Did I not say that, Jason?
You did, yeah. And I'm like, well, that's certainly WWE's philosophy.
I mean, yeah, and WWE makes bajillions.
Well, as long as we're talking about the New Japan commentary team, I have a bone to pick with good old JR for kayfabing the internet, saying that he was not going to call New Japan on Access TV and that he was not aware of negotiations, when in fact he's actually been negotiating with Access TV going all the way back to November of last year. Jason, what do you think?
He tried to pull a Dennis stamp, and I'm not booked, I'm not involved, and it's like I kind of let a little bit of personal disdain for MSL kind of get in the way, and I was kind of thinking, well, maybe MSL kind of pulled a dick move and did this, but no, he was on the up and up with it, and yeah, JR just, yeah, there was an inkling that I had that he might be kayfabing it, because basically what he said was he wasn't in contact with New Japan. It's like he kind of left the door open. He never said he didn't sign anything with Access, but yeah, I actually like him going to New Japan. It's going to add some instant name recognition and credibility to the Access TV show. People know the name Jim Ross. People who don't, watch New Japan now, who follow Jim Ross on Twitter, can see that he's going to, people who weren't involved in this fiasco to begin with. But yeah, your casual fan, that's another thing that I want to bring up. In this day and age, even your casual fan is on the internet. Even if they don't have a computer, they've got a tablet, they've got a smartphone, they're on Twitter. The WWE universe is on Twitter. They might not be smart fans, but they are internet fans. And yeah, there are internet fans of Jim Ross that I believe are going to check him out on the Access TV show because he's calling wrestling again. They're fans of JR. They like JR calling the action. They're like, hey, let's see, what Jim Ross is like calling New Japan action.
Yes, there are so many reasons to like this. First of all, Jim Ross brings credibility to a broadcast. And if you're going to replace Mauro Ranallo with somebody, you might as well find somebody credible to do it who could bring that kind of passion to it, as long as he also has the wrestling knowledge. And JR has both passion and knowledge. So very good fit. And I also agree, he did leave the door open when he said, I was not in contact with New Japan. I guess you can say that he was kayfabing. And if he was protecting his business interests by leaving that door open and not saying explicitly what was actually going on, I understand him protecting his business interests. But he could have at least come out after the fact, after it was publicly revealed that he was in fact going to be the replacement for Mauro Ranallo. He could have come out and said, okay, I didn't reveal exactly what was going on because the deal wasn't inked. I had things to finalize. And it was none of your business until it was time for me to sign the deal. If he had just come out and said that in one of his JR's Barbecue blogs or on Twitter or in an interview with Wrestling Observer, just said, I couldn't reveal it until it was time to reveal it. Sorry about that. I would respect that if he just came out and said that.
Yeah, that would have been the classy thing to do. That would have been the truth. But I think by that point he kind of figures that the smart marks on the internet have kind of figured that part out by themselves.
What's wrong with a good old-fashioned no comment?
Yeah, he didn't even have to comment on the rumors at all. He could have just not even kayfabed it. He could have just left it completely alone and never responded to it. Kind of wish he had.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what? I understand why New Japan would go with Jim Ross exactly for all the reasons explained here. But just as a fan, that should have been a move that was made like 5 years ago. I really kind of got the feeling that we're not going to get the good old JR that we're really used to. I think we're going to, I hate to say this, I think we're going to get a not so good Jim Ross, and I think we're going to feel the pains that it's not Attitude Era Jim Ross.
I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt as Mauro Ranallo's replacement for a few weeks. And then if it's not as good as Mauro was on Access TV, then I'll side with you on this one, Kevin. But until we know how it sounds after he's called a few episodes, we don't really have anything else to go on other than Wrestle Kingdom 9. And I'll let Jason opine on whether that worked or not.
It was okay. I mean, it was what it was. I mean, it wasn't levels of bad like Yoshitatsu at Wrestle Kingdom 10. It is what it is, and I think, this isn't going to be live either. What you have to look at is they can do as many takes as they want with JR. Also, JR, not like when he was with WWE either. He's not going to have anybody yelling in his ear to not call the moves and to, trash the internet or talk about, upcoming pay-per-view matches or tonight's main event. This is all matches that have taken place in the past, matches he can watch beforehand. You can do multiple takes on it. I think he's going to do well with it. I think he's going to have fun with it. I think we're going to see the JR of old come out, and hopefully it will kind of rekindle that love that he had with calling wrestling action that he lost, like Shawn Michaels lost his smile, but yeah, JR kind of lost his commentating abilities when he was in WWE.
The one thing that I also think plays to the advantage of this being good is that he'll be teamed with Josh Barnett. There's every reason for me to believe that JR's respect for him as a catch-as-catch wrestler, as a former UFC heavyweight champion, and as somebody who's competed in pro wrestling in Japan will make them a natural chemistry where JR will be able to shoot the shit with him and Barnett will be able to shoot it right back.
Indeed, yeah, because Josh Barnett isn't your typical color commentary stooge. And yes, he is a pro wrestler. He has been a pro wrestler. He has worked in New Japan. He has been a shoot fighter. He has worked in UFC. So he's got that background, but he's also no slouch on the mic either. He knows of what he speaks, and he can convey that. And very few wrestlers can do that. Booker T is one that's good at that when he's on the mic doing commentary, and Josh Barnett is another one. Taz, not so much. Taz, horrible when he's on the mic calling action. But yeah, Josh Barnett is good, and I think it's going to be a good commentary team. Like you said, if you have to replace Mauro Ranallo, who's almost irreplaceable, you picked a damn fine choice in Jim Ross.
You know what?
Yes.
You know what? I wonder where Michael Chevalier was in that conversation.
I think Michael Chiavello is too busy calling Access TV fights to worry about calling New Japan on Access TV.
And I don't know, it just seemed like that would have been a more natural fit because the Access TV audience is already right there plugged in with them.
You know what? I view Michael Chiavello at this point as being the guy that you call in for Ultima Lucha once every season on Lucha Underground, just to pop me. Even if it pops nobody else, book that one just for me. I want Chiavello to come out and surprise me and call the action at the new Ultima Lucha, what are they calling it? Ultima Lucha Dos?
I guess that's what they would call it. But yeah, that was awesome when they did that at the finale, the 2-episode finale of Lucha Underground. They brought him out. That was a huge pop, and definitely looking forward to some more Lucha Underground coming up too.
Yeah, before the end of the month, the new season will get underway, and they keep running marathons of the previous episodes on El Rey Network. So if you don't have it, call your cable or satellite provider and demand El Rey now so you get it in time to watch these marathons and get ready for season 2, where I'm hearing very good things about both Jack Evans and who's the other guy that got the rave reports?
Angelico?
Angelico got rave reports as well.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to reviewing the matches
Brian
again
Cage.
for the site.
Brian Cage
Cage,
was the
yeah.
one who got good reviews.
who they just call Cage there, I think.
Yes, they do. So, lots of things to look forward to in Season 2, including some reports from Jason Harland on Lucha Underground.
Hey, speaking of reports from Jason Harland, we've got some New Japan action coming up this weekend.
Oh, we do. We have some New Japan action coming up tonight at 4:30 a.m., technically tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm going to go to bed, but I'm going to wake up at 4:30. I'm not going to stay up. But we kind of have a changing of the guard, which is kind of interesting here in New Japan. We have the last matches of Shinsuke Nakamura, which oddly enough are taking place at a double build show with CMLL Fantastica Mania. And yeah, there's a show coming up, tonight, 4:30 a.m. The two big matches on this show that I'm excited for are actually just luchadors all around. We have a guy that I saw at the Best of the Super Juniors, Barbaro Cavernario, taking on Titan, a singles match for the Mexican National Welterweight Championship that Barbaro Cavernario has. This guy impressed the hell out of me at Best of the Super Juniors, and I'm hoping he retains there. And we also have two guys who have worked in New Japan and have worked in CMLL as well. We have the champion Bushi taking on Mascara Dorada for the CMLL World Welterweight Championship. And with Bushi coming back and spending time in New Japan as part of the Los Ingobernables stable with Evil and Tetsuya Naito, I really see Bushi dropping the title to Mascara Dorada, who's heading back to CMLL full-time. It just kind of makes sense. So I see that title changing hands there. Those are the two title matches that are on the card. Also on the card, we have Fuego and Stuka Jr. versus Sho Tanaka and Yohei Komatsu. And yeah, I see the Mexicans going over on this one because the Black Trunks Brigade, the Young Lions, aren't going to pick up a win here in the first match. We have a 10-man tag team match. We have Bobby Z, Gato, Hechiero, Okumuru, and Yoshihashi taking on David Finlay, Guerrero Mayo Jr., Jushin Thunder Liger, Kushida, and the Panther. And yeah, it's kind of like the Chaos B team with some Mexicans in there versus Kushida and Liger's team. I think Liger and Kushida's team is going to win this. Yeah, they got David Finlay there too. It'd be nice to see him pick up a win, but he may end up eating the pinfall too. He kind of seems the one that stands out. So I'm still going to say that Liger's team is going to win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if David Finlay ate the pin on that. I had mentioned Los Ingobernables earlier. We have Evil and Tetsuya Naito, my favorite wrestler of all time, taking on Atlantis and Juice Robinson, which I'm really interested to see because Atlantis is, a long-time respected luchador in Mexico, and you've got Juice Robinson, the NXT hippie. So this is kind of an interesting clash of styles here. So it will be interesting to see the Mexican luchador teamed up with the NXT hippie taking on crushed velvet and eyeliner and a guy who takes 6 years to get his ring gear off. So I'm definitely pulling for Atlantis and Juice Robinson in that match. So we'll take a look at that. We've talked about the two title matches already. There's two more matches on the card. We have a 6-man tag team match. Dragon Lee, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Ryosuke Taguchi taking on Kazuchika Okada, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Virus. And I'm kind of torn on this one. I don't know. On the one hand, we have Nakamura leaving, and they've already stripped the title from him. You'd think they might let him pick up a win, go out on top. There's a few more matches. There's, the 23rd and 24th where he'll be in action both nights. So hopefully they will let Nakamura and Okada's team, let the Chaos A team with Virus here pick up a win and let Nakamura go out of New Japan on a high note because these are the last dates that he will be working for New Japan before he allegedly will go to WWE. We'll see if he ends up there. That's kind of what the general thinking is. Main event on the card, we have Mephisto and Ultimo Guerrero taking on Mystico and Volador Jr. in a tag team match. So we have some just all lucha on lucha action there to end things. And I guess he's back to calling himself Mystico now, or is this a different Mystico?
I believe this is the Mystico that replaced Mystico when Mystico left.
Yeah, this is Mystico 2. Okay. So yeah, this is Carlos Munoz Gonzalez, Mystico 2. Okay. So this isn't Carl's Jr. Listico.
No, it's not Mystico. It's not Mystic 2.0. It's not whatever he's calling himself these days.
Damn, because I'd like to see that Mystico show. That would be funny. So we've got that going on. There's action on the 23rd and on the 24th. We do have some more title matches. We have Dragon Lee on January 23rd taking on Virus for the singles CMLL World Lightweight Championship. And we have tag team championship match that night too. We have Guerrero Mayo Jr. and the Panther taking on Bobby Z and Okumura for the Arena Coliseo Tag Team Championship. And then rounding things out on the 24th, we have a singles match for the NWA World Historic Welterweight Championship. We have Volador Jr. taking on Mephisto.
All right, that's all your title matches. That's 3 nights of Fantastica Mania, and it's on New Japan World for 999 yen, which is the best $8.32 you can spend.
Much, much, much better than spending that money on the WWE Network.
All right. Unless there's any other news that we should cover, I think this is a good point to wrap it up. Kevin, did we miss anything that you wanted to talk about?
I can't think of anything else we need to cover.
All right, Jason, cheap plugs time. Throw out the vegan blog, throw out anything else you want.
Check it out. Especially I made cauliflower cheese tonight. You can check out the recipe for that on my cooking blog, which is at veggiebending.wordpress.com. Not yet Daniel Bryan approved, but one day it will be because it is a vegan cooking blog. Gonna plug, we'll plug NJPW World, the best 999 yen you can spend a month. We'll plug my friends over at WrestleCrap.com too.
Indeed, WrestleCrap.com. Oh, go ahead, Kevin. What do you got?
I was going to say, we didn't cover that news that apparently Daniel Bryan has gotten clearance from a UCLA doctor now.
Oh, yeah, a neurologist at UCLA, somebody who specializes in brain activity.
So he's putting WWE in a corner here.
Yeah, because he's gotten approved by the doctor for the Cleveland Indians and a highly... I can't talk tonight. Maybe I need to go see the neurologist. A highly respected neurologist at UCLA and the team doctor of the Cleveland Indians have both approved him to get back in the ring, but Dr. Joseph Maroon, who gets the veto because he works for WWE, says no.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to feel like some political strings are being pulled there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say conspiracy theory just yet, because I still believe they might have valid reasons to think he shouldn't compete, but they should, if they've got that much of, how do I put this? If there's so much evidence to support Daniel Bryan getting back in the ring, maybe they need to have an independent doctor who they approve of review the findings instead of Dr. Joseph Maroon. Maybe that's the way to go here.
I would say so. It's always good to get a second opinion, and it's like, well, I think there's a very unlikely chance of this happening. It's like, I really would hope that this was just kind of WWE kayfabing us and them saving him either for the Rumble or for WrestleMania, that there really are no problems and they're just trying to work everybody and their mother. I don't see that happening, but stranger things have happened.
It's always dangerous to run a work when it involves the long-term medical health and lifelong ability to read, write, comprehend without your brain being scrambled. So I don't know if I would make that a work if I was a professional wrestling company that has possible litigation against concussions pending.
What I'm saying is, he could be medically cleared, but they're saying he's not, just so it's a surprise when they bring him back.
And yet that would be the quickest way to sabotage the Royal Rumble, because if Daniel Bryan gets eliminated, everybody else in the match is going to get booed from that point on.
But what if you have him win it?
Yeah, and they're really going to push Daniel Bryan as the world champion all the way to WrestleMania? I'm not buying that.
Yeah, stranger things have happened. Yeah, I don't see it happening, but it wouldn't be a bad way to go.
It wouldn't be a bad way to go, but I don't see them going that way, because that goes completely against the whole heel authority thing that they're doing. They would not make a babyface champion.
Scrap.
I know they do, but seriously, they're not going to, because they think it works.
Yeah, well, when they lose, a couple million more viewers, they might reassess that and say, what are we doing wrong? Why are our ratings in the toilet? As long as they don't call Vince Russo to fix it, it'll be fine.
Actually, the ratings are starting to go back up now that they're not competing with Monday Night Football, so they're going to think everything is fine. But we're running along here because I started getting cheap plugs, and we got back around to Daniel Bryan. Not that I'm glad that we didn't, because Kevin brought it up, and we needed to talk about it, and it was important. But cheap plugs time, so Kevin, why don't you give a few of yours?
Cheap plugs. We, of course, got all the shows on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. The Raw Reaction with Angry Tenzai and Big Vic every Monday night. Undisputed Wrestling Show every Tuesday night with Q-Ball Carmichael and Zane Paisley and Drew Skills and Will Huckabee and the Rick Craig and a Garbage and a Pear Tree. I mean, you never know what we're going to be bringing on that
Troy
show.
Miller.
Yeah, Troy Miller, Congo Kong. You just don't know. We've had some great interviews the last couple of weeks. We've had some amazing guys come out of the woodwork that you didn't think you'd really hear of. You know, last week, couple days ago, I should say, we had Pitbull Gary Wolf on. We got the return of Star Maker Kenny Bolin. The week before, we got, great legend Sam Houston, came out as well. So we've got, some guys coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Go check out the Undisputed Show's website at theundisputedwrestlingshow.weebly.com to see who we've got on the schedule. If Rick hasn't gotten the February schedule updated yet, keep an eye on it because it is going to be jam-packed.
And Facebook.com/The Undisputed Wrestling Show as well, if it's not up on their website.
Yes, indeed.
You can edit out the pregnant pause after the fact. And that one as well.
Speaking of pregnant pauses, Tammy Sitch.
Oh, I suppose that can be our go-home news before I get my cheap plugs. She has stopped the sale of her WWE Hall of Fame ring because she no longer needs the money. She signed a deal with Vivid Entertainment to do an explicit sex tape.
Damn it. Does that mean I no longer get my Skype session?
I don't think you do. In fact, if you want a session with her, you're just going to have to be her partner on the sex tape. That's the only way you're going to get any kind of session with her.
Yeah, what are the booking odds on that one?
I don't know, but I do know this much, and it's too much, and I wish I didn't know, but I know the name of the sex tape that Vivid Entertainment is going to release.
White Trash Milfs Volume 12?
No, worse than that. It's called Sunny Side Up, In Through the Back Door.
Lovely.
I'll let you just sit and ponder that.
A woman of class and distinction to the end.
Here are the booking odds on that. We're going to be paying for this to not be released at this point. The rest of the porn industry is looking at this, and they're like, no, thank you. I mean, hell, China says she will come out of retirement just so Tammy Sitch doesn't have to.
China's saying, man, this is offensive. Shoot, I'd rather watch One Night in China.
Oh.
Than gouge my eyeballs out with a fork.
Oh, at least it's going to make for some entertainment when the Tammy Trolla comes on Wrestle Crap Radio. Tammy's in love.
Tammy's in porn.
Here's the only question. How much more money do we need to get for Val Venus to jump in on this?
Hello,
nah.
ladies. You know, the big Valboski is like butter on toast. I always melt in the hot spot.
Or wrestling's greatest gigolo.
Indeed.
Well, or that guy who impersonated the great Sasuke in a porno.
You know what? I'm going to go one further than all of y'all. I'm going to say, bring out the Godfather to pimp them hoes and have Sonny be the hoe.
Oh, no, even better. We start running a late night direct to order infomercial, and he can host it. That would be gravy.
Yes, it would. It would be a license to print money, as Artie would say. But speaking of printing money, I'm going to print mine by saying follow me on Twitter at AngryMarks, follow Jason on Twitter at Great Sudoku, follow Kevin on Twitter at CamNet, and follow Jordan J. Garber at Jordan J. Garber. That's Thursday night AMP. We're going to end on the high note with Sonny going out through the back door. So thanks for listening and have a good night, everybody.